Are You Really Going to Eat That? Podcast episode 123. Hey there, I'm your host Wendy Hill, and I'm a naturopathic nutritional therapist and expert in female hormone health. I specialise in helping women gain confidence and understand their bodies, allowing them to shine. I'm a huge foodie, and this podcast allows me to bring you an eclectic mixture of guests where food and health is our uniting passion. How are we all this week? We are well into January now, aren't we? How are you feeling? Did you make some resolutions? Are they still there? Are you still doing them? We have just started my wonderful transformation program with my amazing ladies. I love it when we first get started. So that has just kicked off. And yeah, it's going to be, it's always amazing. So you've missed out this time, but if you want to join us for the June one, then you need to get signed up now. You can go and sign up now, commit to your own health. But anyway, what am I going to talk to you about this week? So this week I want to talk to you about small habits, and in the fabulous female membership this month, that is our theme. We're talking all about small habits. And actually for me, I don't want you to make massive kind of New Year's resolutions. I would rather your resolution to be, I'm going to change one little thing every week, or I'm going to just focus on the small things. I think sometimes we can be so overwhelmed by this, new year, new me, I'm going to quit sugar and quit alcohol and quit dairy and, and eat salads for lunch every day. And it just becomes a bit overwhelming. And that's, I think, why so many of us fail those New Year's resolutions. Is that it's just too hard, or we do it for January and then that's it, we go back. And it's like, actually, if you made a little change and then you made a little change next week and then a little change the week after, they would be really easy and they would be cumulative, and by the end of 2022 you would have made 52 little changes. How amazing is that? So for me, small changes is a much more achievable thing, and I think it serves your long-term health much better. So that's what we've been talking about this month in the Fabulous and Female membership. Don't forget, you can join. If you want to join us, come on and join me. You can hear loads more of me in there as well. Get me in your ears. And also you can see me cooking and live and stuff. Go to fabfemale.co.uk to sign up. Sign up today. That's my sales pitch now. But yeah, so what we're talking about, small habit changes. And I just want to give you four small habit changes that you can do. Now, what we've done in the membership is we've done one each week, and kind of you've had a bit of support from me. So we've kind of already done some of these because we started on the 1st, but we've just done one little thing each week. And this isn't stuff that you don't know. This is just me reminding you to do it, because it's easy to let things slide. And I think especially over Christmas and New Year, when it's all about food and drink, isn't it? It's easy to let it slide. And this is just about kind of checking back in with you and going, just a reminder, guys. So absolutely number one, always is hydration. Water is the fundamental of everything we do. We literally cannot function without it. Well, we can't function without oxygen. That would be the first thing. But then the next thing is water. If we don't drink water, we cannot survive very long. We can survive quite a long time without food, but we can't survive without water. We are 70% water. But I think actually, for me, the more important thing is our brain is 90% water. So that's a key thing. And that's why a lot of dehydration signs are actually brain functions. So things like constant lack of concentration, not being able to say your words properly, probably fatigue, this kind of brain fog and fuzziness, they are all signs of dehydration. The other one is, would you believe, hunger? So if you are feeling hungry and you think you shouldn't be, then it's probably a good idea to get a glass of water. Now, the government guidelines is 2 litres a day. And I often say this when I'm talking to clients, and I think I've said it on the podcast before now as well, is that, we are all different sizes, and we all have different diets as well. And you do get liquid from some food that you eat. So 2 litres or 7 cups is a kind of a good kind of idea, good yardstick for you. Number 2 is colourful fruits and vegetables. And I would love you to eat the rainbow. So fruit and veg are filled with vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients. And it's these phytonutrients that we want to get more and more of. We are not designed to take a multivitamin. We are designed to get a little bit of vitamin C and a little bit of iron from this bit of spinach that we eat. And then later on in the day, we might get a little bit of beta carotene from the carrot that we're eating. That's how we're meant to receive them, not all in one go in a pill form. So the more fruits and vegetables you eat, the wider range you eat, the more variety of fruits, of vitamins and minerals you're going to get. And each different color has kind of a different level. So orange, for example, has high levels of beta carotene. And beta carotene we get from carrots, which obviously are orange. And beta carotene is really key in our eye health. And do you remember your granny telling you that if you ate carrots, you could see in the dark? Well, of course you can't see in the dark, but you can see where these things come from. I love it when science backs up kind of our old wives' tales or our traditional medication and our kind of traditions. So there you go with the carrot one. So all the colours of the rainbow so that you're getting all of these beautiful essential vitamins and minerals. So we're going for red, orange, yellow, purple and blue, green and white. And if you can eat all of those every day, that is amazing. And then if you can eat a different colour every day, that would be even better. That is quite hard to do. And we had a little challenge in the group. We're doing it now where we're trying to eat all of them every day. And you can make this like a bit of fun with the kids as well. So down, I've in our group, we've got this lovely downloadable document where the kids everyone can put their initials on, and then whoever has the most letters at the end of the week, whoever's eaten the most colours at the end of the week, can choose a prize. Make it fun. It can be a great way to do it. Number 3 is healthy fats. Now, I mean healthy fats. Now, women of my age, one of the big problems that I'm coming across time and time again when I'm working with one-to-one clients is that we have been indoctrinated almost into this: fat is bad. I mean, it's got a terrible name, hasn't it? Fat, to start with. But we've been indoctrinated this low fat diet. I grew up in my sort of teens and 20s with this whole low fat generation, this low fat movement where it was, I think it was Rosemary Conley, where it's like if it was under 5% or something, you could eat it. And then lots of Slimming World and stuff are very fat orientated because fat has quite a lot of calories in it. Now, I'm not suggesting you go and have like a Greg's pasty or something. That isn't the kind of fat that I'm talking about. I'm talking about healthy fats. And if you want to have a listen to podcast episode 61, go to hillstart.me.uk/6161. Then that's a link to that episode. And I talk all about the different kinds of fat and how you can include the good fats in your diet, which ones they are. Now, we need fats to make steroid hormones. So things like vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D is a hormone, but our steroid hormones such as estrogen, progesterone, and sort of estrogen and progesterone. If you are interested in finding more about vitamin D, it's a really, really key hormone, key vitamin. Go back and have a listen to episode 111, where I talk all about vitamin D. But we're talking about, for me, I think the key thing for us at the moment is those steroid hormones. So I grew up with that low fat diet, and now I am seeing how that has negatively impacted the health of many women because they weren't getting enough fat and they now aren't efficiently making those hormones. And as we age and our hormones start to get dysregulated and we have a bit of imbalance, we need those good fats even more. And it can be really difficult to change that mindset. So I'm talking about things like avocado and olive oil and nuts and seeds. And it is, lots of people have quite a lot of fear of including them in their diet, partly because of the calorie content, but also that they're high fat, when they make me fat. So it's a very difficult balance, and especially if it's been going on for many years. So really key to include healthy fats in your diet. And my last one is protein. And it always surprises me because the keto diet is really not my favorite diet. It has its place, but it isn't one of my favorites. But that is very much a protein driven food plan. And it always surprises me that, that had become so popular and that there are still lots of people who just don't eat protein. Now, I'm not saying please do not go onto a ketogenic diet. I'm really not a fan of it. But what I am saying is that we need to include protein in every meal. Now, protein is our building blocks. So our body's base building blocks. We can't make anything without protein. And we need it really, I think, and different people have different levels of requirement for them. So like, athletes, bodybuilders and things will need more because they're repairing cells and growing new cells, and we need protein for that process. But even, normal, regular human beings like you and I need a fair amount. So to give you some numbers on it, we need between 0.8 and 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. What does that equate to? Well, an egg is about 13 grams of protein. So a couple of eggs for breakfast is already giving you sort of 26-ish grams of protein. And I need about 60 grams. So, a couple of eggs for breakfast, I'm well on my way. So my tip with protein really is to just try and think about making sure you get some with every meal. And breakfast is the area where I see it lacking most, particularly if you're having things like cereal or toast for breakfast. You're not getting any. So, tiny bit free milk. So you want to be thinking about, again, adding things like nut butters. We get a lot of protein from lentils. So adding lentils to your lunch, to your soup or to your salad at lunchtime. Seeds. So things like chia seeds, really good source of plant protein. So you can add those, sprinkle those over your cereal. If you still want to, even if you're having the same food and just beefing it up a little bit. So on your toast, could you have some peanut butter and a banana and sprinkle it with chia seeds, that kind of thing? Could you have eggs on toast a couple of days a week? It don't have to be these things. The whole point of making small changes and healthy habits is that if you make these little tiny changes, they don't feel really hard. So if I said you can't have toast and you can't have cereal, you're like, oh God, I don't know what to have. But if I start by saying, well, how about you have toast, but you have peanut butter and a bit of banana and chia seeds on it tomorrow, you're like, okay, yeah, I can do that. That works. And what about if you have an egg on toast? Okay, that works. And then we move on. Maybe the next step might be, well, how about we get rid of the toast? And what if we just had an omelette and we had some like mushrooms and some cheese in there and maybe some like healthy, like low fat chicken, healthy. What I meant to say is some low fat protein like chicken. That was what was in my head. And that you would then go, okay. Whereas maybe if you do that first, and this is why you're making these small changes. So it's like make it the littlest thing that you can do to make a change. Taking a glass of water to bed with you would be a little tiny thing that you could make to make a change to make sure you're more hydrated. And then the next change might be that you swap one of your coffees out for a herbal tea. And you just do that for a week or a fortnight. And then the next week you pick something else. The next week you might say, oh, I'm going to do that. Actually, I'm going to have peanut butter because I remember Wendy telling me about that. So I'm going to put some peanut butter. So I hope that makes sense. And next week we've got another changes. So next week, I'm really looking forward to next week's interview. It's with the lovely Melissa Rolfs, and she's talking to us about how we kick that sugar habit. I didn't talk about sugar this week, and it is a big problem for lots of people. And I'm really honest on the podcast about my kind of, at the time I was struggling a little bit with it. And Melissa has as well. She's been very, very open with us about her journey with food. She's got a lovely approach, and again, very much like me, it's no judgment, and it's lovely. It's really, really great podcast interview. So do have a listen. That's next week's podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, because if you subscribe, then you will automatically get it in your podcast inbox thing. That's a technical term, isn't it? But if you subscribe, then you know when a new episode is coming. And when you subscribe, why not leave us a review? It would be great if you did. You just scroll all the way down on your podcast app and click that 5-star button, and you can say something nice about us. And all these things help other people find us, as well as you telling people. So if you have someone in your life that you think would benefit from learning more about, these little changes that we can make to make our lives healthier long term, then recommend us, send them my way, get them to have a listen to the podcast. It's very easy listening, and they can do it when they're next on their dog walk or in the bath or whatever. So that is it from me for this week. Hope you're all feeling well. I hope you're all looking forward to the rest of 2022 and those small habits, healthy habits, big changes. Really looking forward to it. And you'll see me next week with Melissa. So that is it. All I want to know from you guys is, what have you got for tea?